Hello grade 7, it's part 4 of our lesson. In this part we are talking about the focus of the lesson. If we have, look here, if we have two lines and we have two corresponding angles and the corresponding angles are equal, then the two lines U and V are parallel. This is the converse property. And here, if we have this shape Z and this angle equal to this angle and they are alternate, so if we have two equal and alternate angles, then the two lines U and V are parallel. Then point 3, if two lines are parallel, then every line parallel to one of them is parallel to other. So we have these lines parallel together. If we draw a line parallel to one of them, then this line is parallel to the other one. This is the point 3. And then if two lines are parallel, we have two parallel lines, then every line perpendicular to one of them. So we draw a line perpendicular to one of them. Every line perpendicular to one of them is perpendicular to the other. So if we continue this line, it must be perpendicular to the other line. And then point 6, if two lines are perpendicular, so we will draw two perpendicular lines. If two lines are perpendicular, now we at point 5, if two lines are perpendicular, then every line parallel to one of them is perpendicular to the other. So عندي 1 وعندي 2. إذا جيت رسمت line يكون parallel with 1 راح أرسم line يكون parallel مع 2. راح أرسم line 3 parallel with 2, so it's at the same time perpendicular to the other one. Okay. And then 6, if two lines are perpendicular, so we have these two lines 1 and 2, they are perpendicular, then every line perpendicular to one of them, so راح نرسم line يكون perpendicular مع ال 1 وراح سميه 3. كيف راح يكون 2 and 3? Yes, they are parallel. So if two lines are perpendicular, then every line perpendicular to one of them is parallel to the other. Okay. Then 7, if two lines are parallel to a third, then they are parallel. So إذا عندي هون line راح سميه 1، رسمت line 2 يكون parallel مع ال 1 وراح ارسم line 3 يكون كمان parallel مع 1. So شو بقول عن 2 و 3؟ بقول عنهم parallel. So if two lines parallel to a third, then they are parallel. If two lines perpendicular to a third, then they are parallel. So إذا عندي line هون عندي 1، إذا عندي 2 perpendicular على ال 1 وعندي 3 perpendicular كمان على ال 1، شو بصيروا 2 و 3؟ So they are parallel. So these are the cases how can I prove that the two lines are parallel. ممكن استخدم ال alternate equal، corresponding equal، ممكن يكونوا they are both perpendicular to a third أو parallel to a third. Okay. And then okay, that's it. So how do you prove that the two lines are parallel to each other؟ فإذا كيف نبرهن اثنين lines هن parallel مع بعضهم؟ by finding two equal alternate angles. So هيدي أول فكرة. Or two equal corresponding angles formed by these two lines and a third that cut them. So فإذا لبرهن two lines parallel لازم دور على two alternate equal و two corresponding equal angles. And by proving that they are perpendicular to a third. فإذا عندي line perpendicular and then perpendicular, so اثنيناتهم perpendicular to the same line فبكونوا parallel. And by proving that they are parallel to a third يعني إذا عندي هيدا line 1، 2 parallel to 1، 3 parallel to 1، then 2 and 3 are parallel. They are both parallel to a third line. How do we prove that the two lines are perpendicular? كيف أنا ممكن إنه برهن إنه هال two lines perpendicular? By finding a third line parallel to one of them and perpendicular to the other. So أنا بقدر كمان برهن إنه هال two lines هني perpendicular. كيف ممكن؟ إنه يكون parallel مع one of them بس يكون perpendicular مع other one. So بيطلعوا هال two lines هني perpendicular. So كمان summing up, if the lines are parallel we can conclude about. So we could say that the alternate interior angles are equal if the two lines are parallel. هون في عندي secant فبيكونوا ال alternate angle equal. بيكونوا كمان the same side interior هني supplementary، هيدول الملونين بال purple أو بال violet. كمان هال two angles اللي هون راح يكونوا supplementary. And then the corresponding angles are equal as we see here. This angle right up and right up, they are corresponding and equal.